This time, let's construct the table of signs. But before that, syempre, hanapin muna natin yung ating mga boundaries. So, for us to identify the boundaries in our table of signs na i-construct natin, we have to get the values of x. So, let's solve for the values. Solve for the values of x. Saan natin makikita itong mga values of x natin? Sa atin pong numerator and sa denominator. So, kukunin natin yung values of x natin when we equate the factors of our numerator and the factors of our denominator. So, let's first factor out ating numerator. So, ang ating numerator is 3x squared minus 8x minus 3. So when you factor out that one, it will be 3x plus 1. And you have x minus 3. Then, yung denominator nating 2x squared plus 7x minus 4, factored out is 2x minus 1 times x plus 4. So again, we are trying to find the boundaries. Boundaries ng ating table of table of signs rather. So if we want to find the boundaries, we have to equate or solve for the values of x natin by equating both factors of numerator and denominator to 0. So first, dito muna tayo sa ating 3x plus 1 equal to 0. And when you simplify, 3x plus 1 equal to 0, you will get negative 1 over 3. Then, dito tayo sa isa, x minus 3, equate natin. Then, simplify, you will have positive 3. Then, punta na tayo sa ating denominator. We have 2x minus 1 equal to 0. Then, simplify natin. You will have x is equal to 1 half. Then, the last factor, x plus 4 equal to 0. Then, you will get x equal to negative 4. So these four values of x will serve as the boundaries of our table of signs. So now let us try to visualize kung ano po ba yung magiging itsura ng ating mga boundaries when we plot it in our line or in our x-axis. So halimbawa po, meron tayong line or nasa x-axis tayo wherein ang ating origin ay nasa gitna. So, positive sa ating right side and negative sa ating left side. So, negative infinity and positive infinity. Now, itong mga boundaries natin, assign natin dito sa ating number line. So, first one, negative 1/3. Negative 1/3, sabihin natin na dito yan. Negative 1/3. Negative 1/3 between a little closer actually, not between 0 and 1, but nandun siya sa gitna ng 0 and 1, but a little closer with 0 kasi 1/3 lang siya. So, ito, yan, from 1/3, nagkaroon tayo ng boundary line na yan. Next naman po is yung ating positive 3. So, positive 3, madali lang. Ito ang ating positive 3. So, ito magiging boundary natin. Another is yung ating positive 1 half. So, between 1 and 0, yan. So, let's say ito po yung ating positive 1 half. So, this will be the boundary. And lastly, negative 4. Dito banda. Then, construct natin yung ating boundary line. So, from here, you can easily identify na yung ating pong buong number line was divided to 5 parts. May part tayo dito. Ito, yung first. From this point to the negative infinity, meron din tayong part na between negative 4 and negative 1/3. And another, we have also between negative 1/3 and 1 half. And another between 1 half and positive 3. And last one is from positive 3 to positive infinity. So, if we assign an interval value for that, dito tayo sa baba, magiging value niyan is, start tayo sa negative. So, magiging negative infinity negative 4. Next, union ulit yan ng negative 4, negative 1/3. We are just assigning an interval for each part na hinati ng ating boundary, no? Next one is between negative 1/3 and positive 1/2. That is in interval negative 1/3, comma 1/2. Then, ito naman tayo dito sa part na to, between po ng ating 1/2 and 1/3. That is 1/2, comma 3. 3 pala. Then, last one is itong part na to. Itong part na to is positive 3, comma, positive infinity. So, yan po, itong mga values na to will be used as the interval in our table of sign. So, construct lang natin yung ating table of sign. So, first one, yung ating intervals. Ayan. Kunin natin yung una. Ang una natin is negative infinity, negative 4. Then, negative 4, comma, negative 1/3. Next, negative 1/3, comma, 1/2. Next, 1/2, comma, 3. Last one is 3 positive infinity. Ayan. We have now assigned the interval. So, let's now assign our test points. Let's say that we will assign x is equal to 10 for this one, negative 10. Then, x is equal to negative 2. Then, for this one, x is equal to 0, x is equal to 1, and x is equal to 10. Now, saan natin siya iti-test? Dun po sa ating mga factors kanina ng ating numerator and denominator. So, first muna yung nasa numerator natin, 3x plus 1. Ayan. Then, yung next factor niya, x minus 3. Then, you have 2x minus 1. Lastly is x plus 4. Ayan. Listed na yung mga factors. Now, yung function po natin na 3x plus 1 times x minus 3, then over 2x minus 1 times x plus 4. Then, sa pinakadulo niyan, after natin makuha yung mga signs, we can now describe kung ang ating graph ba is above x-axis or below x-axis. So, pagka above siya, positive siya. Then, kapag below, negative. Now, let's evaluate na po when our x is negative 10 dito sa ating mga factors. So, negative 10, when we substitute it in 3x plus 1, you will have negative sign. Negative 2, substitute. Answer, negative. 0 times 3 plus 1, answer, positive. Next, positive 1 times 3 plus 1, answer, positive sign. Then, 10 times 3 plus 1, positive. Next naman tayo, negative 10. I-place natin dito sa ating factor, which is x minus 3. So, negative 10 minus 3, negative. Negative 2 minus 3, negative. 0 minus 3, negative. 1 minus 3, negative. And lastly, we have 10 minus 3, positive. Para naman po sa 2x minus 1, test natin. Yung ating mga test points. Negative 10 times 2 minus 1, negative. Negative 2 times 2 minus 1, answer, negative. 0 times 2 minus 1, answer, negative. Next, 1 times 2 minus 1, answer, positive. And 10 times 2 minus 1, positive. Last tayo for the factors, x plus 4. So, negative 10 plus 4, negative. Negative 2 plus 4, positive. 0 plus 4, positive. 1 plus 4, positive. And lastly, 10 plus 4, positive. Now, simplify na po natin. O complete na natin itong ating last row. You have negative times negative, then divide natin siya sa ating denominator na negative times negative. So, negative times negative, positive, divided by positive, you will have positive. So, therefore, dito po ay above x-axis tayo. Next, negative times negative, base dito sa ating expression ha. So, negative times negative is positive, then negative times positive is negative. So, that is positive over negative. You will have negative sign. So, below x-axis. Next tayo, negative times negative, you will have negative. Then, ito rin, negative. So, negative divided by negative. Sign is positive. So, above. Next, negative times positive, negative over positive. Positive to. So, you have negative below x-axis. And lastly, positive times positive. Then, divide mo siya by positive again. You will have positive, which is above. Now, let's draw the section of the graph near the asymptotes based on the transition indicated on the tables of sign. So, again, balikan natin. Sabi, we have above, below, below, above. So, una, negative 10. Sa negative 10 and negative 2 po, meron tayong above and below. So, sabi negative 10. So, negative 10, dito yan banda. Ang ano daw natin graph is above x-axis. So, therefore, we can say na nandito yung ating section ng graph. Next naman, yung ating negative 2. Negative 2 daw po is below. So, this is our negative 2. Therefore, papunta siyang baba. Below siya, no? So, we can say that ito ay pababa. Then, ang ating graph ay, ayan, pababa din. Next, sa ating table of sign, meron tayong 0, 1, and 10. So, sa 0, 1, and 10 natin, above, below, and above. So, punta tayo sa 0. Sa 0 daw, above. So, papunta, paakyat po ang ating magiging graph. So, therefore, ito ay paakyat. So, to complete the sketch of our rational function, we are going to complete it by connecting the arrowheads, making sure that the sketch passes through the y-intercept as well. The sketch should follow the horizontal asymptote as the x values goes to the extreme left and right of the Cartesian plane. So, how do we do that? So, una muna, kumpletuhin natin yung ating sketch. Ayan. Part na to. Ayan. Magiging kamukha ng ating graph. Then, dito, upward kasi ang ating 1, no? So, dapat ito ay pataas. Ayan. So, here is now our sketch for the graph of f of x. Now, let's try to see kung tama po ba yung ating sketch dun sa actual na outcome kapag po ito ay trinay natin sa ating software or sa ating GeoGebra. So, using our software or application in graphing, you can easily see na ang ating graph for f of x is in this form. So, check natin to by first indicating yung ating mga horizontal and vertical asymptote. So, ang ating vertical asymptote, ayan ang itsura, negative 4 and 1/2, ay negative 4 and 1/2. Then, ang ating horizontal asymptote is 3/2. So, ayan, positive sa negative part. Then, plot natin yung mga points natin. Yung ating x ay y-intercept at ang ating mga x-intercept. So, ayan sila. So, if we are going to go back to the graph that we have sketched po kanina, you can see na most likely ay similar naman po sila ng kinalabasan. So, lastly, let's now solve for the range of our function f of x. So, dito, ang pinakamadali nating magiging method na gagamitin ay mag-base na lang tayo sa naging itsura ng ating graph. So let's go back to the sketch or the graph of our rational function. So obviously, from the graph, we can observe that the function increases. Your function increases without bound and it also decreases without bound. Ayan, 'di ba? Increases and decreases without bound. So the graph also crosses our horizontal asymptote. Our horizontal asymptote is 3 over 2. So therefore, you can conclude that the range of the function is the set of real numbers. So lahat yan. Lahat naman po ng possible values ng y nasama kasi even the graph itself crosses the horizontal asymptote. So therefore, our range is y such that y is an element of real number. So, wala tayong restriction. Or in an interval, this is a negative and positive infinity. So, that concludes our discussion regarding the graph of rational functions.